Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Foch 155. Double the fun in the Foch 155. Now, this tank had been given the love, or some love, over the years. So when it was first introduced to the game, it was just a single shotgun, very nice alpha, and not a bad tank. You know, it was a good tank. It wasn't a bad tank at all. It's never been a bad tank. However, a few years after that, Wargaming decided to give it some love, give it an autoloader, and make the tank a lot better. Now, they have since changed it a little bit more. So we're going to talk about that when we look at the stats. So you do have 200 mil of front armor, which is okay. You know, it's not the best. As soon as people switch to their premium rounds, they can penetrate it quite easily. But you do have a 3074 DPM with the auto loader. If you don't want to use the auto loader, you have a little bit more DPM, but I would suggest using the auto loader. Where are we? Let's just go back. So so that is a magazine reload of 18 seconds, but the shell reload is 3.75. So that used to be around 7 seconds. It did have a bit more alpha, so they sort of had more alpha, two shells, but 7 seconds in between each shot. However, they reduced the intra-click reload, but they did reduce the alpha as well. But it didn't do too much for the tank, to be fair. It's still a decent tank. Of course, as I've said, you got 2 shells as well. Your penetration is 294 on your APCR, 418 on your heat, so I would recommend running it with calibrated shells just to get that penetration up, and 97 on your HE. You still have a 560 alpha gun, so it's still nice, where before, when it had the 7 seconds intra-clip, it used to be around 640, I think it was. So yeah, it was nice, but they did decide to change it a little bit. 480 on your heat and 620 on your HE. Your aim time is 3.8 and your gun dispersion is 0.326. You do only have 5 degrees of gun depression, but you have a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So we have 2 battles for you today. One in myself, just to get the feel of the tank for an average kind of player, and then the next battle is like a very, very, very good battle. Now, how to play the Foch. Now, those of you that have been around the game for a very long time, we had the YOLO wagon, the Object 263, which was also known as the YOLO wagon, because of how much armor it had. You could just sort of rush into the enemy and you'll bounce most of your shots. Now, that kind of fell away, you know. Wargaming stopped kind of giving the love to the Object 263, and after they gave the love to the Foch, it was kind of the new YOLO wagon. It was kind of took its place. It took the place of the Object 263, so you could just sort of rush into the enemy line, and you'd get quite a lot of bounces. However, of course, gameplay changes. If you do that now, you're going to just get absolutely obliterated. But one thing for sure, the one way I wouldn't play this tank is really as a tank destroyer. So yes, it is a tank destroyer, and yes, it doesn't have a turret, so it does make it a little bit more difficult. And that's one thing I probably maybe would change a little bit on this. Just give it a little bit more track traverse, because as you can see now, it is kind of on the slower side. So I would definitely give it a little bit more track traverse, just to make it a little bit harder for people to be able to circle. Now, I got away with this STB thanks to my FV4202 there, so I did get away of just getting torn apart from that guy. But I'd never play this tank as a tank destroyer. I kind of, you know, this game here, we kind of sort of flanked around, and we managed to get around the enemy. I'm not sat at the back of the map. I'm still quite far forward, and actually I used my pace, or my speed, sorry, to get around the back of these guys. And at the minute, I'm on 2,400 damage. So, you know, it can work, but you still need to be very, very careful. You could be careful of the medium tanks, be careful of the light tanks, and of course be careful of tanks like the Death Star as well. So if I were to come outside onto him, then I'm dead. I'm literally dead. He would be able to almost one-shot me. So Also, what I love about the tank as well is it has the speed boost and it has the tungsten shell. So, you know, I love tungsten shells. I think that is one of the best things to have as a consumable. I think it is fantastic because it allows you to have bigger alpha. It allows you to get more alpha, which really, really does help. And, you know, any tank that has the tungsten shells, any tank, I run it. I think it is a must-have because it does help, especially with the alpha. Just like you just see there with the Jaeger root, like over 700 damage. Yes, I put them on fire, but before the fire, it was over 700 damage for my shot. So overall, not a bad game, you know, 4,100 damage, not a bad game at all. But we're going to move on to a bit of a better game. Now, this game was, honestly, it is an incredible battle, a very, very well played battle. So let's get straight into that. And yeah, I'm jealous of a battle like this because I wish I could have a battle like this. The way he plays it from start to finish, yes, you get lucky, of course. To get this much damage, you have to be a bit lucky. But you can see straight away, yes, he's sort of sat back. The team are with him, like the whole team are with him, but he decided just to sit back a little bit because he knows if he goes up, he doesn't really have the gun depression, and if he goes down, then, you know, maybe he can get circled, I don't know. But he waited to see where the enemy tanks was, and as soon as his whole team come here and no one was spotted, he's then pushing further on. But look where he's going. He's still looking for the shots. He's not looking at getting into a tank destroyer position where he sat at the back of the map. He's actually one of the furthest forward tanks on the green team. So he does get a nice shot there into that Kampfpanzer, like very nice shot. And he's gone for the reload. So I'd always suggest that as well. If you shoot one shell and then you've got no targets, just double click the ammo bar and it'll automatically reload. There's so many people out there where replays or I'm watching that they've got no shots, so they just shoot their second shell. Just, you know, you don't need to waste that shell. You don't need to waste it. Just double click the ammo bar and then it will reload for you. So so far 1,800 damage, and again, he's not looking at running away. He's looking at standing his ground and fighting as much as he can. Now the T-54 coming behind, he does now switch to the HE, which, I mean, these two HE shots just almost well, whatever damage that was there, and then again he gets some nice damage and kills him for his first kill, and now pushes his damage up to just over 3,000. So the enemy do have two bases though. So if they're going to want to win this, they're going to have to make a move because they do have the two bases. So can he kill this 60 TP right now? Yes, he can. He knows that. So he is going to push this guy. And this is where the shorter intro clip really does help. Now, before, when it had the 7-second intro clip, it was nice because of the alpha. But if you had someone that was sort of on 900 damage or hit points, sorry, then it can take you a little while to clear him. Where at least with this, if there's someone on 700, 800, 900 damage, you know, in sort of 3.5 seconds, you'll be able to take 2 shots and clear him. Now, this is where the game changes. This is where luck comes into it, and also skill issues from the enemy team. So it is a 3 versus 4. The enemy are almost on 700 supremacy points, and no one is really looking at capping. Now, he gets some beautiful lucky bounces against this Badger. Now, this Badger has DPM. This Badger is actually a very, very good tank, and he is full hit points. He should be clearing this Foch with no problem whatsoever, especially with the sort of 20 or 17 seconds reload. He should be able to clear this guy, even face hugging, with no problem whatsoever. So 2 versus 4, 800 supremacy points, 2,000 block damage, and now 6,300 damage. And here comes, I mean, what a shot that was, to ignore the Badger because he knows the Badger is struggling, to get that final shot on that Kampfpanzer to get the kill and also to reduce the supremacy points. That was very, very good, like well played, very well played. Now, unfortunately, his Peugeot is AFK. Now, this is where I think it is absolutely hilarious. So his Peugeot has been AFK all game. As soon as he's now killed the Badger, this Peugeot now comes alive. So everyone is actually saying report the Progetto, because he was AFK. In fact, this Progetto saves the day. Honestly, this Progetto, if it wasn't for this Progetto coming back to life, then I don't think this would have been a win. He does a fantastic job, don't get me wrong, but I don't think this game would have been a win if the Progetto didn't come to life. Now he's behind, he's actually getting these shots. I mean, look, the Conway, is he going to shoot? He was seconds away from dying, and then the Progetto saved the day. Luckily, the Death Star only does 23 damage, and then at least now they can go out and get the final kill. He knows he's not reloading, and the Progetto gets the kill. But, you know, if the Progetto wasn't there, then I think the Conway would have killed this guy, and it would have been game over. And them two guys would have had a Progetto full hit points just to farm. But 8,500 damage, 2,600 block damage, and I think that was an absolutely fantastic game. So let me know what you think of the Foch 155. Double the fun with the two shells. It does make it a lot more fun than if you run it with the single shotgun. So let me know what you think of the Foch, and what gun do you prefer? Do you prefer the single shot, or do you prefer the autoloader? And while we're at it, do you prefer the old autoloader with the 7 seconds intro clip but more alpha, or this one? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.